Alright, this is going to be kind of an overview, generic install of DSD Plus, the trunking version here through the fast lane 1.08T. I'm going to recommend that you start out with a fresh install. You can keep your current DSD in another folder, but I'd recommend kind of starting fresh with a new folder. I'm going to do this all on the desktop, create a folder on the desktop and extract these zip files to a folder on the desktop here. And let me go ahead and start that. So as you noticed, I started with the 173 or 174 version, 1074 I should say, and let it open up the folder there. I can rename that if I want, but now I'm going to extract the 1080T into that same folder. Now I'm just going to copy this folder's contents and drop them right into there, and I'm going to overwrite all the older files. So I highlighted them all. I'm going to copy them. And I'm going to paste them in there. Right here. Would you like to replace the existing files? I have Terracopy, that's the reason why this is coming up. And I'm going to say, yes, overwrite all of them. So that did that. So I don't need this 180 folder, but I'm going to just delete it. I'm going to rename this folder so that way be less confusing. I can delete these zip files now. Okay, we have our bat files here. Hang on. Alright, we have our bat files here. The CC bat. We have the FMP -CC bat. We have the FMP -VC bat and just the VC bat. The FMP is basically like your tuner, if you will, your radio tuner, and the CC bat and the VC bat just start up your DSD. Okay, we have our different bats files. In fact, I'm going to organize this by the type of file it is, so that way I get all my bats right next to each other. And there we go. We have the 4 bats. This is the control channel bat. This will execute DSD and set it to work on the control channel. This is the FMP. Basically, this is like the radio tuner that will tune to the control channel. We'll set it to the control channel, and that will start up the FMP program. Once again, this is the tuner, but this is the voice channel that will follow where the other one directs it to go. And this is the DSD startup file, which will decode the digital system that you're listening to. The first thing we need to do is determine what our audio sources are. Now, you will already have to have virtual audio cable installed, at least 2 virtual audio cables, or I think there's one that's called virtual basic cable. It's a free version, whichever you use. I'm not familiar with the other one. I'm familiar with virtual audio cable. but you'll need at least 2 of them. I have 3 of them on my system because I do export the audio out to another program to be able to go to Broadcastify. But the first thing we need to do here is determine what we have and what numbers they are. If you're running a Windows 7 or 8, you can come up here to the top Windows file. I don't know about Windows 7, but Windows 8 you can do this. You can come up to File and you can open the command prompt right there. That's that. Now, if you're running Windows 7, there's a way you can do this. You come over to where your shortcut is, and you hold down Shift and you right click. And then you'll see on here, Open Command Window here. Windows 7 I know has that shortcut in it, and that opens you up into the same path as what this is. That will allow us to execute the commands for FMP and see what audio devices that we have and without it disappearing on us. So I can just go ahead and type in fmp.exe and see what goes on. Another tip is you can type in FM and then hit tab a couple times and it will auto-complete. It may auto-complete to the wrong thing, but you can cycle until it goes to the right one. In fact, I'll do that again. So I had to hit tab twice after I got the FMP. I went over to that EXE. Now I'm going to hit enter. So right here, this is what we're really wanting to see. Right now, FMP, this is the way you're going to have to label your BAT file. So FMP, then the wave out device, the SDR device, and the PPM correction and the frequency you want it to be tuned to. So we need to choose a line out for it to go to, which I will choose line 1, which is actually device number 7. But I have 3 virtual audio cables I have set up. Most of you only have 2. But anyway, we just need to determine what we want FMP to output to. Think of it as a radio, and it's providing a speaker output to another program or another. It's piping that audio into another thing. So I'm going to go with audio device number 7. So what I'm going to do here is open up the fmp.cc BAT and edit that file to reference that. So right away they have it set up with the defaults setting at FMP, and they're saying to go to line 2, which would be my virtual audio cable 2. That'd be fine, but I want it to go to my virtual line 1 because that makes it easier for me to remember. So I put 1, or I'm sorry, I put in 7, and that will represent line 1. My SDR device is the number 1, and that has a PPM correction of about 62. Now you can get that number off of whatever you use in SDR Sharp to autocorrect your thing, your dongle. Now, the frequency you want to put in here. You'll want to put in the control channel, or at least one of the control channels of the system you're listening to. So let me go ahead and bring up radio reference here. I'm going to be listening to Christian County. And there it is. And I know today that they're using this frequency as the control channel. See, they don't even list this as the control channel, as one of the control channels, but today it is. So there's that. I'm going to save that file. Okay, so that should be set up all right. Next thing I need to do is go to the CC BAT. Now, the problem here is you're going to notice when I double click, or not double click, but when I bring up DSD, it's going to have a different audio output device numbers. I don't understand that, but that's the way it is. Okay, here I'm going to type in DSDPlus.exe. Okay, so the inputs, as you can see, like if I went with the audio input device number 7, it would be wrong. So the input, I want the line 1 virtual audio cable, and we see that's device number 4. So I'm going to edit the CC BAT. And right now, this stands for DSD Plus. That'll start the executable. The RC, that's saying, hey, we're going to set this thing into the control channel. The I is the input, and I'm going to change that to what I said there, which was 4. That will allow the output of FMP to go into the input of DSD for the control channel. And then we're going to go ahead and save that, because all this other stuff, this is just parameters. This is how long the log file will be, how much detail will be in there, and this is the window sizes and locations of where all the extra windows will open up. You can change that later. Right now, it doesn't matter. We're just going to go ahead and save this file. Okay, so right now, theoretically, I could double click the FMP CC BAT and then the CC BAT, and it would start decoding decoding correctly for us. But let's go ahead and edit these other two, the FMP VC BAT and once again, I didn't really go over this on the when we first opened this one up. So this is just executing FMP, and then I'm going to scroll back up here. The first number is the wave out device. The second number is the SDR device. Then the parts per million correction, and then the frequency we want it to reside on. Now, on this one, with it being the voice control BAT, it's going to be told where to go. So we can just leave this frequency that they have in there just on there. But we do have to choose another output for this version or this instance of FMP to output its audio to. So let's look in here and output. I'm going to go to output line 2. My virtual audio cable 2. So, and that happens to be device number 2. So let me go ahead and change that. 2. Now my USB dongle device is the number 2 one, because we specified number 1 on the other one. And I know this dongle has about 58 parts per million off. So I'm going to go ahead and save this file. Now, the next thing we need to do is the voice channel BAT. So this is open. So once again, DSD, it's going to call the DSD program up. It's going to go -RV, which is going to put it for receive voice. And we need to choose the input and maybe the output. Let's take a look at that. So I'm looking up here at the DSD, and I want its input to be the same as what I want it to line 2, which is the same as the output of FMP that I just decided for the voice channel. So that would be number 2. So I need to change this input to 2. Now, most of you could probably leave it right there because your default sound card should be probably your speakers. But say it's not. We can always come in here and type in a -O for output. And I'm going to say, hey, my output, I'm going to make it number 4, which is line 3. But most of you would go to like your Realtek, or like here it'd be my speakers, my Asus sound card there. But anyway, you guys would find your proper one and just specify it there. Once you do that, you can hit save. Alright, reason why I haven't fired any of these things up as of yet is because I'm running DSD over on my other monitor here, and I didn't want to interrupt that. But let me go ahead and close these out. Alright, so theoretically I should be able to just click on all 4 of these and it start to roll. So let's go ahead and give that a try. There's the control channel. I'm going to look. Audio input device is virtual line 1. That's great. And right here, starting up, it's on the control channel. I see it right there. That's all good. In fact, it's already starting to look at stuff. Now, okay, here's the next thing. I'm going to start these others up, but this will not decode until I build a frequency, a DSD plus frequency list. But I'm going to start it up anyway. Alright, to put this in trunking mode, I have to hit V. That will be voice. So now it's listening. Now I need to start up this VC bat. And whatever this FMP that's following the voice, whenever it tunes to a new frequency, this DSD will hear it and start decoding whatever it hears. But like I say, I need to build this list. It tells us how to build the list. Our best bet would be to go to radio reference and look at our frequencies. So here they are. And we've got to put the protocol in there, the network ID, the site number, the over-the-air channel number, the TX frequency, RX frequency, and the sort order. So anyway, we can just go, all right, I know I'm going to be doing an X edge, so let's copy that right there. I don't know what I caught of there. I think I forgot to press my control key to push talk. The next thing we need to put in after the next edge 96 there with the comma is the system, the site number. And we get that right here, system ID number 25. We're going to put that in there. Comma. And like I say, I got that right from radio reference. The next thing I need is the site number. So I'm working the Kelly Towers at site number 2. So I'm going to put 2 in there. Alright, you notice I'm putting a space after the comma. So the next thing we need is the over-the-air channel number. Whoop, 255. Now I'm going to put in the frequency. And I put the frequency in there again. I put my comma in there, of course. I'm going to put the sort order as 0, and up here that says use sort order 0 to use the over-the-air channel number. So that will sort it by this 255. Now I've already made this list, so to save some time, I'm going to copy the rest of it. You can see that it's all the same there. Why do I have a different spacing? I'm just wondering. Oh, not that it matters. I don't think that extra 0 matters. But I do like it to be uniform so that way I can see real quick of, hey, I accidentally keyed something in there. So I'm going to go here and save this. And I don't know if I have to restart. No. See, it's already starting to populate up here, putting the frequencies in there. And you're going to see it all start working. Let's watch it populate. Right now we don't have any of the site names or the group names in there, but that should automatically start to obtain it all from the system, I do believe. I do have it set up already, but let's look at what it's doing. I'm going to look at the groups list and see what it's updating. Okay, it's already added some of this. It hasn't, I may not put the names in there. So what we can do is go back over to radio reference and add them. Let me do that. So what I can do here is look at the decimal, which is the group number. So right now, group number 1, that's the Christian County Sheriff Department. So I can do this, a dispatch. Group number 2 is the Hopkinsville Police Dispatch. So let's put that in there. Now, the next one is 6. Okay, 6. Next is 10. $41. Look there, there's nothing there, so I'll have to keep an eye out for that one. 64. That is that's the garbage crew, waste management, whatever you want to call them. All right, I'm going to save that. These are our priorities. Right now, I'm going to lock out the waste management guys. Alright, so that's locked down. I'm also going to set this number here, this 50 number. The lower the number, the higher the priority it is. I know it's at least 1 through 100 or something. I think it goes up to 125. I think I read that somewhere, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It may go up to 150. I'm not sure. But anyway, the higher the number it is, the lower the priority. So to me, Christian County, the Sheriff's Department, I want to hear them the most, at least out of the group I have up here right now. So I'm going to set them at 20. I do know there's another group that, the traffic group, when they start using that, I will add that and I'll make that a 10. Hopkinsville Police, they're the second priority that I have now. So I changed them to a 30. And then after that, the fire and the EMS, I'll let them just work it out. Whichever one comes on first, they will go, because they have about the same to me. We see how this is already doing in there. I'm going to hit save up here. You'll notice up here, since I've got the priority numbers, and you'll see that in this column, that's a 20. See this right here, the Hopkinsville Police, they have a lower priority, so you shouldn't hear them. You can see it's a 30 priority, so you're going to only hear this one. Now, that's not saying that this, when it first, it has to determine what it's hearing. And before it does that, it may allow a little bit of that to slip out and start with the wrong one. But in general, it's going to follow that, and you can see it working there. Anyway, I think that's it. I hope I went over everything. Like I say, you're going to have your virtual basic cables already set up. But hopefully this will help somebody out. It is very important to make sure that you install this all from one folder. And yeah, I think that's it.